victories for Sam Bachman as he takes the win at the Port Royal Speedway.
Wins another one at the Knoxville Raceway. Blake Chapman wins.
A corner down here through the front straightaway. Watson gets the win here tonight.
Chad Greggs, a Knoxville Nationals champion. But to the checkered flag, Blake Christopherson, your winner at Lernerville. Here they come off of turn number 4. To the checkers, Templeton takes the win.
Through the back stretch into corners 3 and 4 out here. It's going to be Watson for the win.
The 56 wins. First time winner Randy Streets.
But your winner at Weed Sports is going to be Brandon Templeton in the Salty Dog.
All right, we're trying to get things up here, so just bear with us here. We get things situated. Thought I had things here, but I'm not seeing them at the moment. Oh, there it is. Okay. Not in its right folder. All right, there we go. Waiting on the stream to come live here. Just waiting on the cameras. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I know we struggled with that in the past as well, so hopefully everybody can hear me okay. And I think you're trying to get fired up here for race number 1 of the winter season here at Coast to Coast. All right, let's see what we got going on here tonight. We are here starting at Lernerville. Should be a very, very fun evening. So, bear with us. I'm waiting on the cameras to come alive here. Everything else is trying to come up to date as well. Now, I updated iRacing yesterday thinking I would be good to go. I didn't realize they put in a quick update here today. And, trying to get everything situated. Oh boy, that's loud. Got to get that changed. We're here in heat number 1 of the night, trying to get the SDK here live coming on. So bear with us here as we get, as we said, things situated. Hey, watch from out of that corner there, down through the back stretch. Here for heat number 1. There you see that 161, the Yahoo machine. Bringing home the victory, I believe, for heat number 1. Getting ready for heat number 2 here. We see them lining up there. Isaac Salas there starting 4th. Try to see if I recognize any other driver's number. We got the 518 out there on pole. The 78 back there in about 7th position here tonight. Looks like we got a 10-car field. Now I come down through off of the start-finish line here. Trying to get to where I can see what in the world is going on here, and it's not doing what I needed to. Dean Reynolds up there in the 79, I believe, if I remember correctly. And we're down up corner number 4. Here we go. Green flag is out. They're down and away here for your A&J Hometown Heroes heat number 2 here on this night. Out here in the corner number 3 and 4. Looks like Dean Reynolds has the lead at the moment. Isaac Salas working up there on the top side as they work on down there out of the corner. Yeah, of course we're going to do this tonight, aren't we? Down here in the corner number 1, everybody side by side, working there off into the backstretch. Salas down there on the inside. Reynolds up there on the high side, coming there off of turn number 4. Down there off through in the 2, down through that back straightaway. Hey, watch them roll down that back stretch here tonight. Work there in the corner. And there you have it, heat number 2 in the books. We get ready for warm-ups here. Yeah, work down that backstretch. Well, you're getting that SDK off right now here. Apparently in the off week, my payment lapsed. I did not realize that, so sorry about all that everybody's watching. It's coming live now, though. Now we're under warm-ups here at Lernerville. Little hiccup here tonight for the start, but we're going to work through it. It's coming live. Hey, watch it there, coming live on your screen, hopefully. Well, it is live on mine. We'll get it here in one quick moment. Working there off the corner. We're going to go ahead and get that here. And as we said, the results here. They're getting ready for the main event. Let me get them ready to go here tonight. All right, starting grid here as we see it fit. We have out there on a pole. Gotta be Terry. Whoa, that would be why that's not right. Shit. There we go. That's better. Now we gotta get to where we have it. Grid. There we go. All right. See if we get the grid coming up for you. There it goes. All right, starting on pole. Terry Landis, Isaac Salas, their second. Patrick Spangler starts third here tonight. Net number 39, Blake Chapman. Car number 20 here in fourth. Mike Wheeler there in fifth. Jeff Barker there sixth. Maverick Seidel there in seventh. Dean Reynolds eighth. Jeff Sharp there in ninth. Joseph Grandy there in 10th. Kurt Schatzer. He's rolling off there in 11th with Scott Riome there in 12th. In 13th tonight, that's going to be starting the number 04 of Greg Parmalee with Bobby Good there in the number 7, who is outside of 14th. In 15th, that'll be starting Stephen Bixler in the car number 75 with Pat Boys in the car number 41. Trevor Guru, the 075, will be starting there in 17th with Andy Patton in the 87 there in 18th. Then the number 88, starting 19th is Dan McLaren with Armando Melgosa there in 20th in car number 78. And that will be your starting grid here tonight for the Coast to Coast A&J Custom Creations. This is your limited late models. Down through the backstretch, there you see Terry Landis going split 3 wide as Sal is up there on top. Spangler down there on the inside, going to battle it out, coming there off the corner. And down through 1 and 2 they go, down here off the backstretch. And everybody fights for position. Down there off the corner they go. And through off corner number 4. Now there you see Landis back here in the fan. Patrick Spangler sitting second, trying to chase down Salas. Salas off the top side of the racetrack. That's going to allow Spangler to come back around. Blake Chapman allowed Jeff Barker to Landis. Salas falls all the way back as he fell off the top side of the raceway here tonight. Caution is out for the first time tonight. Trevor Guru going to bring out that caution there in the 075. You see the 075 up there on the top side, right there behind the 04. possibly Scott Briome. I'm looking at this. No, I'm sorry, that's Greg Parmalee. And there you see Trevor Guru off the top side, off pace. Bringing out the caution. Oh, no, there was somebody else there. That was backwards. See if we can rewind this to see who that might have been. That's the 7 there, Bob the Good, who's sideways down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. First caution on the night. There you got Salas out there in front. Spangler there second. Blake Chapman there third. I'm sure Spangler and them did not want to see the caution come out, but it happened. They now have to deal with it as they end up behind Salas once again. Salas choosing that top lane, the preferred lane here at Lernerville. In case anybody's wanting to know, here is the way your heats broke down. Since we didn't have our SDK, Heat 1, Terry Landis, Patrick Spangler, Mike Weeda, Maverick Seidel, Jeff Sharp, Kurt Schatzer, Greg Parmalee, Steven Mixler, Trevor Guru, and Dan McLaren. That is how they finished there in heat number 1. Coming around here for the green flag in the main event here in the limited late models. And up the corner, down through the front straightaway. Salas out there in front, 19 laps to go. Spangler there in second, gets a good run, slides it on up, gets in front of Salas. Salas has to back off of it just a little bit. Down here through turn 3 and 4. Salas there up top, but has company 3 wide down there on the inside as Blake Chapman there in the number 20 works there underneath them. Down clear on the bottom is the 161 of Terry Landis as Landis tries to battle his way up there towards the front some more. Grandy there in the number 518. They're on the top side right behind the 513 of Jeff Barker as they battle it out up there on the top. 17 laps to go here for your main event here for the AJ Custom Creations Hometown Heroes here tonight as they battle off here in the corner number 1 and 2. Blake Chapman down there off the corner. Jeff Barker out there in front, out there in fourth. Spangler leading the way, leading the charge up there on the top side. Great restart there to get him down there on the bottom side. Ahead here off into the backstretch. In the corner number 1, or corner number 3 and 4, but caution is back out on the speedway. At the AJ Custom Creations here with the Hometown Heroes tonight. We appreciate them coming back on board this season. You see, we tried to redo the logo a little bit there on our tower to give them a little bit bigger recognition compared to last year. Last year, if you remember, it was a little bit larger. It said Hometown Heroes. This year, we kind of flip-flopped to where now AJ Custom Creations is bigger than the Hometown Heroes. We're down here off the corner. Salas having a connection issue there. I'm not sure where he went. Now he's back there as Spangler's down there on the bottom side. Did a great job getting down there off the start and getting ahead of Salas. He's hoping to do the same thing again here as they roll around 1 and 2. Spangler out front. Chapman there in third right behind him. 513 to Jeff Barker up there in a fourth on the top side. Hey, watch him here through turn 3 and 4. Here we go. Pace cars off. Here we go. They're down and away. Green flags out. Spangler getting another great jump, but Salas is there this time as Spangler dives it in there deep and shine. Brings it out there up onto the top side. Hangs on to the outside lane. Salas getting around, gets to the inside. He's going to throw the slider down there through 3 and 4. Patrick Spangler going to hang in there in second. He's going to go get underneath. Man, oh man, what a battle we got going on as Spangler now goes sliding up there to the top side of the racetrack with the momentum here with Salas now down there to the inside. Salas going to bring it back with a short slider, and here we go. Patrick Spangler back down there to the bottom, gets the lead coming there across the stripe, up off the corner. Spangler brings a little bit shallower there himself, down through the backstretch. Salas now dives there to the inside. I don't know if Salas got enough. He looks like he does. Spangler's going to have to undercut him again, and he does. Down here in the corner number 1 with the undercut for Spangler as he comes there off the corner. Salas there in a second, now battling back for first. Down through there off of turn number 4. Spangler going to hang on, get the momentum coming there off the corner. Hang tough down here in the corner number 1 again. Back underneath. These two just swapping positions back and forth. As you watch the action here tonight, Andy Patton having problems back here towards the back, and the 87 has now labeled as out. There you watch him come there off the corner. Action all over here at the action track of Lernerville. Down here in the corner number 1. Jeff Barker there in 4th with Dean Reynolds 5th. Blake Chapman now up there in the 3rd. Salas still sitting there 2nd. Salas got side full there as that top side starting to come through for the driver. I think Salas has lost momentum there on the inside. Spangler's up there ripping that top lane here. 8 laps now, 7 laps to go down here in the corner number 1. Jeff Barker there in 3rd. Isaac Salas 4th. Joseph Brandy there in 4th. With Dean Reynolds there 5th, pushing them along down there in the corner number 3 and 4. Everybody's trying to stack up here as they work off the corner. Blake Chapman there 2nd. Jeff Barker there 3rd. Joseph there in 4th. 6 laps to go here in the main event of your limited late models. Here they work out of turn number 4. Up on that top shelf is Patrick Spangler, Blake Chapman, and Jeff Barker. 1, 2, 3. But look out, here comes that 518. He's looking underneath the 513, and Jeff Barker can't quite get the run there. Coming in the corner number 3 and 4. He's going to run it back up there on the high side. Isaac Salas having issues once again. Has now been off track, and now he's not on track at all. Not sure where he ended up down there off the corner. 4 laps to go here in your limited late models from the A&J Custom Creations Hometown Heroes sponsor here tonight. As they work there in the corner number 1. Spangler leads the way with Chapman and Grandy. They're 2nd and 3rd. But don't count out Barker as he's battling back on the top side once again. Now these drivers really putting on the shows. Now he undercuts here coming in the corner number 1. Dean Reynolds right there as well. He works up there on the top side of the speedway, coming back down here off of 2. Down off of turn number 3 and 4. 2 laps to go. Coming to the white flag where Patrick Spangler down here in the corner number 1. Final time here at Lernerville for the limited late model. Race number 1 of the winter season of 25-26. Down here through 3 and 4. Patrick Spangler hangs on, and he will get the victory here at Lernerville this opening night of the limited late models for the Hometown Heroes. All right, working down here through off of turn 3 and 4. Patrick Spangler, Blake Chapman, Joseph Grandy, your top 3 here tonight. Hey, see your top 3 lining up for their picture there on screen. Great job here. Now we'll see if we can get our feature results to come up. Here you go. Patrick Spangler getting that win, as we said. Blake Chapman there in 2nd. Joseph Grandy there 3rd. Dean Reynolds there in 4th. Mike Wheeler there 5th. Jeff Barker 6th. Jeff Sharp there 7th. Trevor Garou in 8th. Scott Riom there 9th. Dan McLaren there in 10th. Pat Boyce in 11th. Greg Parmley there in 12th. Maverick Seidel there in 13th. Terry Landis there 14th. Armando Malgosa there in 15th. Isaac Salas there in 16th. Stephen Bixler 17th. And that's a shame there for Isaac Salas that he had such a great run going. Unfortunately, this could not complete it out here tonight. I think Internet might have had some other, or something had other plans for him tonight. As we said, Stephen Bixler in 17th. Andy Patton 18th. Bobby Good there in 19th. Kurt Schatzer there in 20th. That is your finishing order here tonight in your limited late models. Out we get with the drivers here. See if we can get with Grandy, your third place finisher. Trying to make sure that I got everything set correct. Just making sure here, and it looks like I do. So, let's see here. It is. Hopefully everybody's ready for their interviews. Good evening there, Grandy. How's it going? It's going well, man. What a race there tonight.
Yeah, it was something.
There was action all over the track tonight. It was hard to figure out where to look on stream here. But, I mean, you did a great job getting around Lernerville, getting that third place. Did you think you had a third place car tonight?
I think I had a winning car, but things, it's so hard to pass in these things. You break so much momentum if you try to slide or do whatever. Pretty much following the line, hoping someone messes up or, So, I tried my best to get through there. I would have needed a late race caution or something, but I'm content with a third.
You still got a podium here tonight, and that's always a feat here at Coast to Coast as the competition's so stiff.
Yeah, so always good racing here. I enjoy it. This is the first league I joined, and I plan on being a lifer.
All righty, well, congrats for third place here in the limited late models. And you got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Aiden over at RTB, all the guys at RMDB, Catalytic Recovery, Alliance Cinematography, Reckless Raps, Mad Rabbit, Hinkle Homes, my girlfriend Olivia. Appreciate all the guys at Coast to Coast, and you may have to do the broadcast.
All righty, well, congrats, and hopefully we'll see you in more races. So that was Joseph Grandy. We're getting ready now with Blake Chapman here. Good evening, Blake. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Adam?
Man, what a workout you guys had up front.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. We had to be up on that top side if you wanted it to be quick. Maybe some other guys were able to make something else work, but yeah, just had to run that middle to top, and I really had nothing for Patrick or Isaac, and then fortunately I was able to get around Isaac, and I think he just kind of got stuck on the bottom there. We were able to kind of run away from the rest of the pack for a little while there, but yeah, like I said, I had nothing for Patrick up front, but it was fun watching those guys battle for a little bit.
Oh, it was definitely fun. I mean, and there was battles all over the racetrack tonight. Definitely did not disappoint. I think some of them might nickname Lernerville the action track, but I'm not sure. I'm going to be asking Patrick that, make sure my facts are straight on that. But the action didn't disappoint.
Yeah, definitely not. You've got to always be locked in and focused. You never know. You get a little too high, and there goes your good run that you had. Like Isaac, he got lucky one time. He went over the top, but the caution came out. But we've all been there before. So, yeah, this track, you just never know. You've got to be ready for anything.
Yeah, I don't think you're a true Lernerville racer until you've met going over the top of the bank.
No, definitely not. No, you got to spend time down there with the boat on the backstretch down there in the grass for sure.
Well, congrats there, Blake. You got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, first I got to thank the family for watching. I got to thank all the guys down at KSR and the Salty Dogs for letting us hop in their Discord. I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps and Andy for putting the money up to put this broadcast on. I got to thank Flatline Racing Bodies. I got to thank AJ Custom Creations. I got to thank everyone involved that puts this league on. Of course, I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. You can head over to their website. Don't forget to use code CART, that's C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off some of their very delicious popcorn. And I got to thank you for the broadcast, Adam.
Alrighty, well, we had a little bit of a hiccup tonight getting started, but we worked through it, and we're good to go now. So congrats there, Blake, and hopefully we'll see you more tonight. I don't know if you're coming out in the wing stuff or not.
Yep, that's the plan. I'll see you there.
Alrighty, well, congrats, Blake. We'll see how well you do there. Good luck.
Thank you.
Blake Chapman, your second place finish, and I will get with Patrick here. Good evening there, Patrick. How's it going?
Pretty good, yeah.
It's going well, man. Home track for you, right?
Yeah, I was able to keep the momentum going from last season here, and got lucky there with Isaac. He didn't slide up the whole way, and then they were battling, and I was able to just walk away with it.
Yeah, you definitely had a few laps, though, where you really had to battle hard.
Yeah, especially after those restarts, because once you throw that big slider, it just kills all the momentum in these cars, and you're just trying to go. And Isaac got a run on me after the restart, and I thought we were going to slider battle all the way to the end. But for some reason, he didn't come all the way up on that one slider, so I got lucky there. But yeah, that was fun. Fun to race. Isaac's super clean guy. I always leave you some space and race you clean, so that's always fun doing that, because I can't race like that with everybody.
Alrighty, well, you did a great job, and can't wait to see what comes forward here. And you racing all season this season?
Yeah, I think I need to race more than just Mondays. Slacking on the Monday racing, so gonna put some practice in on the Wednesdays, and so I'm gonna try to make all the races.
Well, we'll be cheering you on here, Patrick. And correct me if I'm wrong. Is Lernerville known as the action track?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I was correct on that. I just want to make sure my facts were straight.
Yep. Yeah, sure is.
Well, we didn't disappoint with action tonight, that's for sure.
Yep. Hopefully we can keep them moving in the 360s and have the same result.
Alrighty, well, you got any sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank before you hop into the 360?
Yeah, just you for the awesome broadcast you put on each week, and all the graphics you do behind the scenes for Coast to Coast. Jack, Jeff, and Dean for keeping Coast to Coast running here. And Dan, go back on watching.
Alrighty, well, congrats again, Patrick, and we'll good luck in the upcoming series.
Thank you.
All right, have Patrick Spangler, your winner here at Lernerville tonight. Driving that number 39 limited late model. And then we're going to be moving on here to the 360. So don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. Don't click nothing. We will be right back here at Coast to Coast Racing Network and Flickaprom TV if you're watching over there as we get ready for the 360 wing sprint cars. More action-packed racing coming up.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get
be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get...
All right, here we go. We're back live here. Sorry about that. I had to run and grab a drink. Yeah, apparently I'm out of my soda I normally keep in a box here beside me. So I had to go fetch me something, and we're set to go right in here at Lernerville for the 360 sprints. I see their times right now in the warm-ups here, or in the practice session, or hot laps rather. And one worker off the corner looking there at Dean Reynolds in that number 79. Grandy out there with a 12.595. Got the 078 there. Jack. Hey, drivers, get set to rock and roll. We're ready here on our end. That's whenever the drivers are ready. All right, here we go. Qualifying underway. Keep tabs on it down there on the bottom. There, watching there, Isaac Sellers. There you see William Richardson. They got a bunch of drivers here trying to make the cut. There goes the 05 though. Donovan Ross, Maverick Seidel, Dean Reynolds there. Oh, wait, my Swindell here. He's currently first with a 13.200. Richardson with a 13.200, and Patrick Spangler just crushed that with a 12.989. Brian Moore there with a 13.090. Bob the Good currently 9th. There you see Matt Barber currently 14th. Currently 16th. And Isaac Salas as he tried to get that thing rolling here. $13.066 there for Salas. There comes Chad Lackey into the outside wall. That's going to be in no time. 88 there of Dan McLaren. Working down that back straightaway. Dives it there at through turn 3 and 4. 13.334. Works there off a 2 down through the back stretch. All right, heat number 1. Here we go. Starting grid for your 360 sprints from A&J Custom Creations. Shane Billings starting on pole and Blake Chapman there second. Brian Moore rolls off third and I have Patrick Spangler there fourth. William Richardson in fifth. Bob the Good there in sixth. Dean Reynolds rolls off in seventh. Dan McLaren in the 88 rolls off in eighth. Matt Barber rolls off at 9 with Joseph Grandy there in 10th. All right, here we go. Get ready for the start. There's the Spangler there in fourth. Qualified on the poles, which puts him starting there and in fourth here as they invert the top four of the heats. Down through the back straightaway. And down here in the corner number one, up there on that top side, there's the 39. Uh-oh, and we got one a little loose back there. Spangler there trying to work his way through the field. I think Spangler might have been a little loose back there. He dropped back there to about 8. Chapman there out front, leading the way. Bob the Good had issues. He is now out there. About 4 laps to go here in the 360 sprints. Down there in the corner number 3 and 4, heat number 1. I think 88 of McLaren's trying to hang on there. Blake Chapman up there in 4th. Matt Barber 3rd. Dean Reynolds in 4th. Working there underneath the 55. Brian Moore. Dean Reynolds there in 4th now. Bringing in the corner number 3 and 4 down, looking below. I work down here out of the corner. And they get together. There goes McLaren up and around. I watch Reynolds come across the line. Blake Chapman, you're a Heat 1 winner. Waiting on the official results to come in. Heat 1 results. They're going to be Blake Chapman, Shane Billings, Dean Reynolds, Brian Moore, Matt Barber, William Richardson, Dan McLaren, Patrick Spangler, Bob the Good, and Joseph Grandy is how they're going to finish here in heat number 1. Heat number 2 on the board. We got Maverick Seidel starting out there in first. Jack Clevenger there in second. Terry Landis third. Isaac Salas fourth. Jeff Parker fifth. Trevor Garou rolls off in 6th tonight. Donovan Ross in 7th. Scott Thompson rolls off in 8th in car number 8. The 280 of Jeff Sharp, he's going to start 9th here in heat number 2 with Chad Lackey. Rounding out your field here, starting in 10th in car number 66. 6 laps the distance. Here for Maverick Seidel and company here tonight. Green flag is out. Trevor Garou out there in a 5th. Works there through the middle. Salas up top, down in the corner, number 3 and 4. Having got Clevenger down there in the front. And we see Landis working down there on the bottom. Maverick Seidel, he's there 3rd. Here comes Salas now to the high side, getting that high side broke in here a little bit. Great run there off of 4. He's going to try that high side again through 1 and 2. You're playing with danger up there on the high side, but it is the fastest way. I see Clevenger there out front. Landis 2nd, Isaac Salas there in 3rd. Landis giving him a good run down there, just a little bit lower there, running the middle of the track. And now Salas comes storming in, going to give the slide job. Landis gets caught down there on the bottom. Unofficial results. Here coming in here for heat number 2. Jack Clevenger there in front. Isaac Salas there, Secretary Landis third. Trevor Guru fourth. Jeff Barker fifth. Maverick Seidel there in 6th. Chad Lackey 7th. Scott Thompson there in 8th. Jeff Sharp in 9th. And Donovan Ross in 10th. That is how they'll finish there in heat number 2. We'll be back after these short messages.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, back here at the Speedway, here is your starting lineup for tonight's main event. Blake Chapman out there in front. You got Jack Clevenger there in second. Shane Billings will roll off third. Isaac Salas fourth. Dean Reynolds fifth. And now car number 79, Terry Landis there in sixth. Brian Moore in seventh. Trevor Guru will roll off tonight in eighth. Matt Barber in ninth. Jeff Barker there in 10th. William Richardson rolls off tonight in the 029 in 11th. Maverick Seidel rolls off tonight starting 12th. Here in 13th, that's going to be starting Dan McLaren. In car number 88, Chad Laggy. In car number 66, the 39 of Patrick Spangler starting 15th with Scott Thompson. There in 16th, driving the number 8. Bob McGood driving the car number 7, starts 17th tonight with the 280 of Jeff Sharp starting in 18th. Joseph Grandy, the 518, starts in 19th, and Donovan Ross starts tonight in 20th. Here we go. All set, coming out of turn number 4. Ready, the green flag is out there, down and away. 25 laps the distance here for your 360 wing sprints. Down here in the corner, number 1 and 2. After crossing the line, as we got Blake Chapman out there in front. Jack Clevenger there in a second. Salas third. Here in a fourth, that is Terry Landis. Patrick Spangler, your winner there in last race, is trying to work his way up through the field. Shane Billings and Matt Barber get together here on the backstretch. Goes Billings down there into the corner for the pits. Hey, what there, Shane Billings in that 017. Down there on the bottom side, the 16 there. Barber, there you see he gets spun around down there on the inside. Matt Barber there as well. You see him getting there, going to pit road to fix what damage he has. Shane Billings is going to stay out, possibly. All right, roll off through here, getting ready for a restart. I see here you got the 78, Jack Clevenger in second, Dean Reynolds third, Isaac Salas there fourth, Terry Landis there in fifth, Trevor Garou in sixth. They roll out here in the corner number 1. Lights out on that pace machine. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing. Appreciate everybody tuning in here to watch A&J Custom Creations Hometown Heroes here this Wednesday evening. Here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. We're also interested, you're catching the show over at Fleeker Farm TV as well. Down here in the corner number 1, they're off a 2. Chapman getting a great restart as Clevenger gets up there on the top side, gets a great run there to get around Dean Reynolds, but he's going to have a mirror of Salas here in just a moment. As Salas gets up there in the third, Reynolds stuck there in the middle of the racetrack as Landis gets around him down there on the bottom side. Salas and Landis now battling side by side down there through off of turn 4 as Landis tries to get that bottom side to work in for him here. 21 laps to go as Chapman's out there in the lead. Coming up the lap traffic of the 88 of McLaren. And McLaren's down there on the bottom side. Chapman's trying to figure out how to make a pass at him. As Chapman now stays up there. I'm sorry. You got 88 staying high there. Chad Lackey in the 66. Trying to figure out who else is in front there. Trevor Garou in the 075. He's going to pull it down there. Let the faster drivers like Blake Chapman and those drivers go by. Up there on the top side. Jack Clevenger, he's going to work up there, going to try to get around Landis. The 88 there is still kind of in the way there with Dan McLaren. Brian Moore up off the top side of the racetrack along with Trevor Garou, who's sitting in the pits. We've got another one back there as well. Patrick Spangler going off the top side of turn number 4. 17 laps to go. Spangler not having to race. He won it here in the 360s. Now we see Chapman out there in front. There's Landis coming after him. Clevenger, great run here tonight. In that 078 as Salas is there in fourth. Dean Reynolds there in fifth. Jip Barker there in sixth with Donovan Ross there in seventh. Up there off the corner, you got the 26 there. Maverick Seidel working above the 05, Donovan Ross. Down there off the backstretch in the corner, number 3 and 4 they go. Coming around here off of 14 laps to go for Blake Chapman. As Terry Landis and Jack Clevenger try to chase him down. Off the corner, there you watch, there you see Jack Clevenger up there on top. Blake Chapman, there out front. Larry Landis, there second. Isaac Salas back here in the fourth. With Dean Reynolds, man, Jeff Barker, there coming up behind. They try to bring it out there. You see a few drivers in the pit. Dan McLaren, Brian Moore, Trevor Giroux, Chad Lackey, all down there in the pits. Hey, Clevenger there in a third. Landis there second. Chapman out there in the front. Spangler just trying to hang on to what he can back here in 14th grade now. Yeah, right there off the corner. He's gaining some ground there on the driver in front of him. That being the 017. Richardson has kind of crashed there in turn 3 and 4. He's going to end up going to the pits. Caution is out for Tim William Richardson. As you saw, he ended up parked up there on the top side. Getting stopped like that, that is what's going to bring out the caution. They wouldn't come there off the corner. Green flag back out. I'm sorry, no. Chad Lackey coming out of the pits. Landis is there in second. Chapman out there in front. Second caution, they're going to line back up side by side. Salas back here in fifth. Jeff Barker back here in sixth. Dean Reynolds in the number 79 there in fourth. Yeah, 5 of Isaac Salas. They come here off turn number 4. Chapman getting a good restart here. Landis falling through. He's going to slide it on up out of there. Down through the backstretch, 9 laps to go here, down in the corner number 3 and 4. Landis now trying to get something down there on the bottom. Can't quite get there as of yet. Going to try again here through 1 and 2. But Chapman has the line up there on the top side. Landis there in a second as Clevenger there in second now. He's got that top lane figured out as well. As they get up there to battle alongside of Chapman. Chapman's got to be watching his mirror all over the place right now. As they come here out of turn 3 through 4. Cross the stripe into 1. Chapman is the leader, but for how long, that is what we're going to find out. I think Salas now gets himself up there in the fourth, but ends up spun around down there on the inside. Caution comes out. Unsure exactly what happened here to Salas as you watch it here on the Flicker Park TV instant replay. And it looks like Salas ended up taking 2 drivers out. Landis and Reynolds. There we see Reynolds missing the top wing. Landis, he's running back there. Not sure how much damage he has on that machine. He's going to be going back there in there. Looks like to be 3rd position. Pretty sure he got a piece of it here. Take one more quick look and then go back live here. Hey, Landis there. There's the hit there. Went around, then he'll slide up there and he'll catch Landis. Put Landis over top of the back straightaway. So I'm unsure what happened to Salas there tonight. Salas now out. Chapman leading the way. Clevenger there in second. Landis there third. Barker fourth. Seidel there in a fifth. Off corner number 4 down the front straightaway here. In through off. Landis down there on the bottom side. Oh no! Clevenger goes up and over across the back of the racetrack. 5 laps to go. That's going to give Barker and Landis a little bit better view here as Chapman is out front in at number 20 once again. Caution is once again out, this time for Bob the Good. Hey, Bob the Good down there on the bottom side, coming there through turn 3 and 4. Looks okay there, coming through 3 and 4, but oh no, he ends up getting sideswiped by the 17 there. Shane Billings, who sends him up and into the catch fence. So Bob the Good, broken car there, after being shot up into the catch fence. After him and Billings get together. Fourth caution, about 4 to go. Maybe 3 to go. Work down that back stretch. White Flutton. Green flag is out. 3 laps to go. They come out down there out of 2. Matt Barber up there on the high side. Landis works himself up into second. Chapman out there in front. Barger now gets around there. Great job by him as Landis tries to work back up there on the high side. Will do so here through 3 and 4. But Barger not giving up down there on the inside as he still sits there final lap. Here at Lernerville for the 360s. Landis hanging strong up there on top. Gonna pull it off here. Great job. And oh no! Barker loses third as Maverick Seidel will get up there and get the 3rd place. But look who's got your victory. That is Blake Chapman getting the victory here at Lernerville tonight. Unofficial results coming in, but Blake Chapman, your Lernerville winner here in the 360 Wing Sprint Cars. I see the picture there of all the leaders. Your top 3, Chapman, Landis, and Seidel. Here's your finishing order. Blake Chapman gets the win. Terry Landis there in a 2nd. Maverick, Seidel there 3rd. Jeff Barker in 4th. Matt Barber in 5th. Patrick Spangler there in 6th. Donovan Ross in 7th. Jeff Sharp in 8th. Scott Thompson there in 9th. Dean Reynolds 10th. Jack Clevenger there in 11th. Shane Billings 12th. Bobby Good in 13th. Isaac Salas 14th. William Richardson finishes tonight 15th with Chad Lackey 16th. Dan McLaren 17th. 18th. That's going to go to Brian Moore. Trevor Guru finishes 19th. And Joseph Grandy finishes tonight in 20th. Man, what a night for these drivers here in Lernerville. It has been action-packed all night long so far. All right, getting here with your winner. Good evening there, Maverick. How's it going?
It's going good. And yourself?
It's going well. Am I saying your last name correctly, Seidel?
That is correct.
All right, just want to make sure. Great run out there, man, and kind of take us through. How difficult were the 360s here tonight?
So, it slicked off up top very, very fast, and 3 and 4 was taking a lot of people, and, I just committed to running the middle to the bottom and stuck with it.
Well, you did a great job bringing that 26 up there in the third, and it's never easy getting a podium here at Coast to Coast. Is this your first season with Coast to Coast?
This is my first season with Coast to Coast.
Well, welcome, and we're glad to have you here.
Thank you very much.
You got sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank for getting a podium here on your first night?
I just have to thank my coach, Mr. Salsa, Isaac himself. Without him, I probably wouldn't be here.
Well, congrats again, and what series you going to be running here at Coast to Coast?
I'll be running the 360s and the 358s and possibly the big blocks as well.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you in more races. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
You have yourself a great night there, Maverick, and enjoy the racing here at Coast to Coast.
Thank you very much.
All right, Maverick Seidel. I'll get with Terry Landis. Good evening here, Terry. How's it going?
All right, Adam. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you got that Yoo-hoo number 161 up there in the second place tonight.
Yeah, it was really running good. Blake and I were talking about the track situation, and he liked where he was at, and I said I'll try and follow him, and it worked half decent.
Well, I know Barker tried to give you a little bit of a run there, and he ended up finishing 5th here tonight.
Yeah, I heard him down. I told him I heard him down there. I saw his front tire a little bit.
Or maybe.
I was getting worried because Go ahead.
I said, or maybe it was 4th. I think he might have finished 4th.
Yeah, he was running good down there, and I was getting worried that he was going to beat me on the bottom. That's where we both run. But I pulled it off, kept running the top in the middle.
Well, that top, it's so thin and such a fine line to keep the speed and momentum up here at Lernerville without dumping that car off the back.
Oh, yeah, a bunch of guys did, I guess. And Jack did. He was running a good second, and then he took it off, I reckon. Oh, yeah, it's a fine line up there. You just got to baby that thing and try and hope you see it.
Yeah, it's definitely a harrowing type of racetrack for sure. But, I mean, the action was great all night.
Oh, good. That's great. Yeah, we do our best. Might have been a little sketchy in the beginning, but at the end, I think we got it together.
Well, I mean, it's been great racing so far, all night long tonight. Do you run the midgets here as well, Terry?
Oh, yeah, I'll be in the midgets in the Jeter car. Yeah, purple car.
Alrighty, well, we look forward and good luck in that. And you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting second place tonight?
Oh, yeah, let's give a shout-out to A&J Custom Creations because they make some badass trophies for us. And his wife does some other cool other things. And you for putting the show on. Flieger FTV, you got to watch it and listen to it. And C2C, give us a great place to race. The admins behind the scenes and KSR and Craig's Old Track Parts, because if you've been something, call them guys. Galen's Homegrown Popcorn. Use the word cart and check out and get the best popcorn on the internet. And my wife, Judy.
All right, well, congrats there, Terry. And can wait to see you more tonight for the season opener here of 25-26 winter season.
Yeah, it's going to be fun one at Fairbury in the midgets for sure.
All right, well, we'll see you there.
All right, see you.
All right, I was Terry Landon. I will give it Blake Chapman Good evening there, Blake. How's it going?
I'm feeling pretty good. How about yourself, Adam?
Oh, it's going well, man. You had that thing ripping across the top lane tonight.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. We were running the bottom for the first part of the race there. Felt good down there. We were down there digging and clawing pretty much since the drop of the hammer, but you could feel it was starting to go away quite a bit. And there was a caution with probably about 10 to go or so, where it's, we decided to move up the track and go high, wide, and handsome, and it was pretty scary up there. There wasn't much grip to get a hold of, but if you get a hold of it, it was definitely faster than what we were running down low. So, yeah, just overall we had to, be decisive with where we were running at and hit our lines, hit our marks, and, we were able to pull off a win.
Well, you did a great job starting the season off here in the 360s really well, getting the win here tonight. Wasn't sure how much, the home track person, Patrick, was going to give you a run, but it seems like he struggled here in the 360s.
Yeah, I saw, I think it's, because the heat race, obviously he qualified quick time. He's always fast here. He's always probably the favorite to win, but, he, something happened in the heat. He's ended up starting in the back, which I figured he was still going to come up and challenge for a win by the end of it. But, Wes got held up back there one way or another, so, I'm not going to complain too much. It makes my life a lot easier up front if he's not there challenging me for the win, so I'll definitely take it.
Well, good luck trying to chase that championship this season. And you got sponsor shout-outs, anybody you want to thank here to get that, as you got that 360 sprint victory here tonight at Lernerville?
Yeah, first I got to thank the family for watching. I got to thank all the guys down at KSR. It's great to have a Krite Sim Racing 1-2 finish here tonight. Of course, I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps, and big shout out to Andy at AJ Custom Creations for putting up the money for the broadcast. I know Terry already mentioned it, but you can head over to the Galen's Gourmet Popcorn website and use code CART at checkout for 15% off some of their very delicious popcorn. I got to thank everyone involved in this league for making it so great and so much fun to run with, and I got to thank you for the broadcast.
All right, well, congrats once again getting that victory here in the 360s, and we'll see you in the next race that you race.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Adam.
All righty. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, so that'll wrap it up here at Lernerville. And as you heard, it sounds like we're heading to Fairbury. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more racing action.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus. So let's get
right when we talk about it.
outpouring of love. It was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. In the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
All right, back here with the Coast to Coast Racing Network, but this time we're here at Fairbury. We got the midgets here tonight from Regal Wraps and Designs. Hey, watch it there, Blake Chapman out there in that number 20. Terry Landis there in third. Third fastest right now, and he picks up and he'll go for a ride. There to turn 1 and 2. They let him up there. Sugar flag waves here in practice. 6 drivers will take the grid here tonight in the midgets. We'd like to see a little bit bigger following of the midgets, if we possibly can. Anyway, at number 20 there comes off. There's Terry Landis there tonight. Jeff Barker there in the 513. Jack Clevenger there in the 078. Arrow down here in through 1 and 2. Bob the Good laying down a decent time here. Qualifying is underway. Jack Hitt currently second up third. And he won't improve that time. Barker out there in that 513 going to lay down a 12.353. But Jack Hitt lays down a 12.351. Blake Chapman, the only one left to qualify. He'll come across there at 14.037 right now. Comes down through the back stretch, now down here through turn 3 and 4. And got it 2 sideways. That's going to be a new time for that lap. But Chapman had a great time there. His first lap with a 12.157. Everybody qualified, getting ready here for your main event. Looking here to see what we're doing here. As you watch them here, getting ready for the grid. Come on, you. Why aren't you doing what I need you to? They must not be gridding up yet. There it goes. Now they're going to start gridding here in just a moment here at Fairbury. All right, here is your starting grid. Jack Clevenger will roll off in first. Jeff Barker in second. Jack Hitt third. Blake Chapman will be in fourth. Bobby Gardner fifth. Terry Landis in sixth. Man, here we go. Off the start line. Everybody get lined up. They're watching here from the backstretch, possibly. I'll look at that here as they come down across. Yeah, I thought so. I thought we were staged here on the backstretch. Now watch them there out of turn number 4, down through the front straightaway, underneath the flag stand there. And now they're coming into turn number 1. So yeah, we're stationed here on the backstretch of Fairbury. 6 drivers, 6 laps of distance. There you go, down off the corner in the 1 and 2. Great job there by Clevenger. Way up there on the top side, though. Look out. That's a... Try to figure out who that is up there. That's the 20. Blake Chapman making a heck of a run already. He's getting up there in the 4th. Well, he started 4th, trying to get up there in the 3rd. Up there on the top side of the racetrack. 5 to go here. Jack Clevenger, he's out there in front with Jack Hitt there in 2nd. Terry Landis in 3rd. And Chapman's trying to hang on up there on the top side, see if he can get it broke in a little bit to gain some momentum. Hey, what work here off turn 1 and 2 down this back straightaway. Landis goes around quickly, got it back underway, but that's going to hand that over to Blake Chapman to get 3rd. Jeff Barker back here in 4th. Clevenger and Jack Hitt go at it as Jack Hitt gets around up there on the top side. Jack Clevenger had to back off a little bit. Oh no, they get together. There goes Hitt going around. Clevenger, he's now in trouble. There comes Chapman up there on the high side. Chapman, and there goes Landis. Up and over there on the front stretch. Down here off the corner, we got the unofficial results coming in here for heat number 1. All right, here we go. Your heat 1 results. They're going to be Jack Clevenger, Blake Chapman there 2nd, Jeff Barker 3rd, Terry Landis 4th, Bobby Good 5th, Jack Hitt in 6th. All right. Yeah, warm-ups take place. We'll be back after this short message.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap. It's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs.
All right, back here at the Speedway, we see warm-ups are still taking place. There, your quick times of warm-up. Jack Hitt, your fastest one out there. But I also think Jack Hitt ended up the last in your heat. So he might be the fastest out there, but he's starting dead last in the feature. That finishing order will kind of go in and be your starting grid. They still got just a few more moments here. And you can see just how front end light these cars are. They watching there, Clevenger there out in third right now. There's the Chapman. All right, flag waves here in warm-ups. All right, here is your starting grid. Jack Clevenger will start there on pole. Blake Chapman there in second. Jip Barger in third. Terry Landis fourth. Bob the Good fifth with Jack Hick there in sixth. Getting down there in the corner number one. Landis, we see there is in fourth. Chip Barger's third. And kind of how you heard me most of the night, you heard me say to these drivers in their interviews that coast to coast is a stiff competition. It's not easy to get up here in the podium positions most nights here at Coast to Coast Racing League. So if you're wanting great competition, this would be a great place to check out. We'd love to see more midgets come into play, along with more of the other series as well. Hey, we only got 6 midgets here tonight. Green flag, there goes Chapman up there on the high side. Gonna try to get that to work early here. They work down the backstretch. Going 3 wide there, up off the corner. Down through, past the stripe, 24 laps to go. Landis going and hanging it out there. In the middle of the racetrack, gonna pick up back to where he started. And now he's gonna lose that there to Jeff Barker. Barker is still battling it out. I'm sorry, no, that's Jack Hitt. Jack Hitt still battling it out. Down here through corner number 1 and 2. 22 laps to go as they work here off down through the backstretch. In the corner number 3. Up against that wall is that Hooters machine. Landis got to stay off that bottom. It'll pop your front end up quicker than a Jack will. Down here through the backstretch, looking there. Jack hit down to his inside of the lead. Terry Landis, sorry. Yeah, picked that front end up again down there on the bottom side. It can be done to get a quick time that way. Just got to really control the car. Well, through turn 1 and 2. Looks like they're trying to have a race of their own. They get together there in turns 1 and 2. Caution is out. As Jack Hitt and Jeff Barker get together. You watch that live here on Coast to Coast Racing Network and Flicker Farm TV as we bring up the Flicker Farm on the pole instant replay here. Watch the 07. Man, oh man. Hey, driver running hard here. 14 laps to go. Sorry about that. Extended replay. There you see Landis in second. 13 laps to go with Clevenger out front. Man, what a night for him here in the midgets. I got Blake Chapman trying to battle up there on the high side where he looked pretty comfortable, but down there on the inside is the 513 of Jeff Barker. Sorry about that, folks. They're up there along the top side down here in the corner number 1. Blake Chapman there in third. Terry Landis there in third. I'm sorry, Blake Chapman there in second. Clevenger there in front. 11 to go, and I thought I heard somebody get into something. Yellow flag there is Terry Landis. Terry Landis got into something. Him down there. I wonder if they got into one of the tires. Coming there off corner number 4. Down here through one. Yeah, that's it. Hit the tire and up and over he went. Yeah. All right, here we go. Got just a few laps to go. Landis is in the pits. They're still side by side here. Off the corner, down the front, straight away. The number 20 there, Blake Chapman on the outside. Jack Clevenger down there on the inside. Here they go. Green flag is out here. They come out of turn 4 down across the start-finish line. It looks like Chapman got caught sleeping just a little bit, but he's got a good line up there. If he can just get the momentum build up, but unfortunately that bottom side is still very strong. Here you see Jeff Barker trying to get up there to battle alongside him. Can't quite get there too much. He fell back a little bit, but Chapman still hanging on here, coming out of turn number 4. 10 laps to go. Now 8 laps to go. As they work here off turn number 3 down here into the aisle here. Working down around out of corner number 1 and 2. We got Blake Chapman up there against the outside wall trying to chase down Jack Clevenger. 6 laps to go now for Blake Chapman as he gets around Jack Clevenger. Clevenger falls back there into second. But gonna battle some more down there on the inside. But Blake Chapman, he seems to have that thing set up on rails up there on the top side. Now you got a few of them trying to get that inside to come in. Just unfortunately, I don't know if it's enough. They're gonna pull the Michael Jackson stunt here and see if they can pull in and see. Down here in the corner number 1. 3 laps to go. Chapman out front. Clevenger in second. They work down here through the backstretch into corner number 3 and 4. Down there off the corner. Up there on the top side. There comes Chapman now as he retakes the lead. I'm sorry, no, he doesn't retake the lead. Chapman's still out front. Clevenger retakes second. Down there on the top side. Final lap there for Blake Chapman. He worked down through the backstretch here in the corner number 3 and 4. Up on that high side, Blake Chapman gets the win here at Fairbury in the Regal Midgets. Sponsored by Regal Wraps and Designs here tonight. The whole night sponsored by A&J Custom Creations. The Hometown Heroes Wednesdays here at Coast to Coast Racing League. You can join it there or find out more information at C2C RL.com, I believe. Thank you all for watching. And we'll get with our driver interviews here after we look at our results real fast. Won't take long as there's only 6 drivers. We got Blake Chapman out there in front. Jack Clevenger there in second. Jack hit there third. Jeff Barker fourth. Bob the Good there fifth. Terry Landis in sixth. All right, down here in off of the corners we go. Get with our leaders. As we'll get with Jack Hitt. Good evening there, Jack. How's it going?
Doing good. How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing well. And how's everything with you?
Good. I had a little rough race there, but pulled out a third, I guess.
Well, I mean, you still got a podium, so I mean, it's you shouldn't feel that terrible about it.
Yeah, small car count, thankfully, so it wasn't long line to start and back of, but they certainly did not make it easy to get back through.
No, nobody made it easy on you, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was just a tough track to run on without a lot of cars really to slick it in. So I don't know how Blake was doing what he was doing on the outside. I went up there for a couple laps and didn't think it was a good idea to stay there, but kind of came a race to the bottom there.
All right, well, congrats getting that NOS number 20 there up there in the third. You got any sponsors out there anybody you want to thank for getting off to an okay start to your season?
Got to thank our sponsor, Regal Wrapping Designs, for being able to have this broadcast, and you for doing the broadcast. Everyone in the league that makes it go around. The guys that come out and put on the races, hopefully we get back to a normal car count after this week. Or, well, I don't know. You know, next week might be a little small too, being Christmas Eve. But winter season usually picks up with the car count, so hopefully we can get to that and have some put on some good shows for you.
That's right. Next Wednesday is Christmas Eve, and are we racing?
I think we are. It's going to be up to you whether that's broadcasted or not. You know, obviously, if you have stuff going on, that's pretty understandable. But,
unfortunately,
we'll
I'm not home Christmas Eve.
Yeah, we'll still race though. So if anybody wants to come out and join us, have some Christmas Eve fun, we'll be there.
Alrighty, I'm going to go have not so much fun.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I mean, it's Christmas Eve, so hopefully you have a good time.
Alrighty, yeah, I'd much rather be here racing, but I got to unfortunately go see relatives. So, but you did a great job there tonight, Jack, and can't wait to see what your season brings for you this season.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
Alrighty, well, congrats, and we'll catch you next week. I guess in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. See you then.
All right, that was Jack Hitt there, finishing third. Now we'll get with Jack Clevenger. Good evening there, Jack. How's it going?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
All right, am I saying that last name correctly?
Clevenger. I'm not sure how you're saying it, but that's how it's pronounced.
How is it?
Clevenger.
Okay, I thought that's what I'm getting. I was saying Clevenger.
Got it right then.
All righty, well, congrats getting here. Is this your first season with Coast to Coast?
God, I've been racing with Coast to Coast for years now. I just we took some time off over the summer and just got back into it.
Okay.
It's short, so can't work too late. So by the time I'm on the West Coast, so by the time they're racing, I'm already home from work.
All right, well, you did a great job getting that midget up there into the podium position here of second place. I noticed you were out on track in a couple of the other series here tonight too, and you didn't do too bad for taking some time off.
Yeah, I was running second there in the 360s and drove over the edge on the restart. I was pretty frustrated with myself, and tonight in the midget, I just knew I had to stay on the bottom, and nobody could get around me on the bottom, and I knew Blake was running the top, and it just finally worked its way in, and he carried the speed around me, and I was not running a great race for myself around the bottom, so made it a little easier on him.
You did a great job tonight, and good start to the season. Are we going to see more races this winter season?
Yeah, I'll be around and see how much I can run. I'll run as much as I can.
All righty. Well, good luck there, Clevenger, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, sir. Have a great night.
All right, that was Jack Clevenger. Oh, sorry, Jack, you still there?
I'm here.
All righty. Before you go, you got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank?
Just Keith and Devo, the guys on my team, Brian, Greg, Gary, all those guys, and you guys for the broadcast and Coast to Coast for the place to race. And I think Andy sponsors the broadcast on these nights, so thank A&J for that, and yeah.
All right, well, congrats again, and as we said, we'll see you in upcoming weeks.
Thank you.
I have a Jack Clevenger, now we'll get with Blake Chapman. Good evening here, Blake. How's it going?
It's going great over here, Adam. Couldn't have been a much better night for us.
Well, you got the victory there in the 360s, and then come here and get the victory in the midgets.
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Kind of came into the midgets just with the mindset of just kind of have fun. And I figured the bottom was going to be the faster line, which it was, I think, for most of the race. But I was running the top. It was fun to run up there. I had to run a pretty aggressive line. Had to throw it in pretty hard to make it keep pace with what Jack was running on the bottom. And I was just kind of able to keep pace with him all race. And then the last couple laps there, it seemed like the top got a little bit faster. And, maybe he made one or two mistakes, and I was able to get around him. And he was carrying a lot of momentum up top, so yeah, it was a lot of fun running up top, even with the low car counts. Wish a couple more guys would get out here for these midgets. They're a lot of fun, but even with the low car counts, still had a lot of fun.
You definitely look. It's always fun whenever you can get out there with some friends and just having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely, and everyone that ran tonight, we've been running together for a long time, so everybody kind of knows what to expect around one another, and which makes it a little bit more fun. There's a lot of respect there between everyone, so that's a really good thing to see.
Alrighty, well, before you go there, Blake, you got any sponsor shots? Anybody you want to thank for getting the victory here in the midgets, as well as the carrying over from the 360s?
Yeah, first I gotta thank the family for watching. Gotta thank all the guys on at KSR, especially Terry for running with me tonight. I got to thank Preston at Epsilon Sprint Wraps and Andy at AJ Custom Creations. I got to thank Regal Wraps and Designs for the sponsorship in this division. I got to thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. They got some of the most delicious popcorn you'll have. You can try it out for yourself if you go over to their website. And don't forget to use code CART at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. And I got to thank everyone involved in putting this league on. And I got to thank you for the broadcast.
Alrighty, well, congrats once again. And can't wait to see what we got going forward here for your season.
Absolutely. Thanks, Adam.
Alrighty, good luck in the rest of the 25-26 winter season here at Coast to Coast.
Thank you.
Alright, that's going to wrap it up here tonight for Coast to Coast Racing Network, bringing you the Coast to Coast Racing League. We finish here with the Regal Midgets out of Fairbury. Great job by these drivers as they head on out. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the race. I have found myself some caffeine or something here, and so I can get ready for Fleeger Farm TV's John Dubai Cup here tonight. So that's over at Freedom Motorsport Alliance. But here at Coast to Coast, great job. Can't wait to see what we got going for it. Thank you all for watching.
Bye.